Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. We are back with a wonderful, wonderful episode of By the Wayside Fantasy Football Show, brought to you by our sponsors, By the Wayside Coffee. They're tagged and everything. They are amazing. Handle that way. So here's what we're going to do today, guys. First, I'm going to start off by saying congratulations if you're still watching, because that means you're in the semis, or your playoffs just started, which means you're in the playoffs, or you just enjoy the content, which, probably is the least likely of all of them. But I do want to say, if you played Lamar on Thursday, congratulations. If you played Mark Ingram, congratulations. If you played Marquise Brown, I'll take 14 some points. That was a good game if you are a Ravens fan. But what are we going to do today? I'm just going to list you the outs, ins, questionables, my thoughts on these guys, because, guys, this is the most important week of the season if you're still alive. Let's get into it. Let's start off simply by saying Calvin Ridley is out today against the 49ers. He's on IR, abdominal, I believe, something along those lines. A lot of people have been asking about Russell Gage. It's not that I don't like him. It's that Hooper's back. It's that Julio Jones is there. And it's that they're playing the 49ers, which have been one of the best defenses in the NFL. Greg Olsen is out against the Seattle Seahawks. And why that's really significant for me is because there's a ton of tight ends out today, guys. We have Greg Olsen out against the Seahawks. We have Evan Ingram and freaking Rhett Ellison. They are both out against the Dolphins, and it's terrible that they are. You have guys like Hooper, like I mentioned, that are coming back off injury against a very tough defense that you kind of don't want to play after last week. And you have Noah Fant, who's questionable against the Chiefs. All these tight end issues lead me to say a couple things. One, check your waiver wire. Ian Thomas is most likely there for Carolina, and he's been very good. And then you have guys like Jared Cook who are questionable with concussion protocol, but should be able to go Monday night. What I did, just for a little scenario, in my league with Jared Cook, I also picked up Jack Doyle because they're both playing Monday night, and I didn't really want to have to play someone Sunday if he couldn't go. T-Y, game time decision. Again, Monday night. I hate going into the weekend pass with a guy that's questionable for Monday, because then you're screwed for points. Pick up Zach Pascal if he's still available in your league. He has been doing very well. There's also Johnson, who's a receiver that's new on their team that's been doing well. If you have T.Y. and you think you're wanting to play him on Monday, just make sure you have one of their backups. That way you can plug it in. DJ Chark out for the Jaguars. Why that's significant is that they are easily going to throw the ball a trillion times against this Raiders defense. I have started D.D. Westbrook in my Dynasty League. I don't know how comfortable I feel in that, just because D.D. has been up and down, but Chark has been their guy, and he is out. Damian Williams is questionable today against the Broncos, but he's not going to go. And what I mean by that is, even if he does play, he's not going to be himself. I don't even see him making the field today, guys. Speaking of tight ends that are out, Gerald Everett is out against the Cowboys. The reason I mentioned everyone else earlier and didn't mention Everett is because Everett's backup is the guy you want. Tyler Higbee has been great when he's the starter. Reception monster, red zone threat, has been very good with Jared Goff. In another weird little play by the Patriots, Edelman flew with the team, but him and Mohamed Sanu are questionable. It's against Cincinnati, who their secondary has been one of their only good, positive aspects so far. I think Edelman plays. Josh Jacobs is questionable. That is interesting for me, because John Gruden came out and said basically, even though the MRI came back positive, that they weren't, or I guess negative, they were positive because the MRI came back negative. I hate that. Doctors need to change that now. But Gruden basically said he wasn't instantly going to play. I mean, he is the franchise guy right now on that team. I think he plays, but he might have some sort of pitch count, so be careful starting Josh Jacobs unless you're in a bind and have to. Mike Evans has been rolled out. I believe they'll put him on IR, but they haven't yet, which it was a hamstring injury, and he pulled up hard last game. What that means for me, against the Lions' very, very strict man-to-man defense, Godwin is going to get a lot of targets, but hopefully, because I'm playing him in 2 leagues, hopefully Chris Godwin gets blanketed and they just say throw to anyway, beat us with OJ freaking Howard. Can everyone in the world please just mark Chris Godwin today for fantasy? That would be lovely. Derrick Henry is questionable but expected to play, and they say that they won't have a pitch count for him. Why that's important? Derrick Henry's been the best fantasy football player outside of Christian McCaffrey and Lamar Jackson in the last couple weeks. And I say outside of just because those two have been astronomically better than everyone else. And last but not least, James Conner back for the Pittsburgh Steelers tonight against a very good, very stout Buffalo Bills defense. The one thing I do see change, I was very adamant in the preseason that I did not believe the Steelers were going to go to running back by committee. Reason being, they never had. They always have given it to the main guy, even with D'Angelo Williams, with Jalen Samuels, with every backup we've ever had, they have gone with him as the guy. Now we have a lot of really, really talented backs, with White, with Snell, with Samuels, with Edmonds, with Connor. We have 5 guys that can actually run the rock. I would be very surprised if they did not work every single one of those guys in some capacity tonight. So here are the guys I think you should leave by the wayside in your fantasy football playoffs. First one, I've loved him most of the season, and he kind of been screwing me over. Tyrell Williams for the Raiders. He's up against the Jaguars, which has been, even without Jalen Ramsey, a very good defense. The Raiders' offense hasn't really got it clicking in the air, and Tyrell has just been mediocre, so I'm not expecting anyone to play him, but that is a guy that a lot of people have as their wide receiver 2 flex. Not my option today. Next guy is Tevin Coleman, who I loved parts of the season. I drafted early in a couple leagues. I thought he was going to be the guy. Injuries, this and that. It is Mostert's team right now. They've come out and said Mostert has earned the lead back role. I'm actually playing him in the flex in a semifinal game because he's had back-to-back weeks of 22-plus points, and he's been insane. So Tevin Coleman cannot start in any capacity today. And last but not least, guys, this one's going to sting for me personally. Leave Tyler Lockett by the wayside. And I know when I say that, he's going to go off today for 33 freaking points and 200 targets and everything that's amazing. But the last 2 games, he's gotten 1 point and 4 points. I cannot risk my fantasy football playoffs on the fact that I just like Tyler Lockett a lot. I just can't. So if you have the ability, now if everyone else in your bench is projected like 8 points, he's a boomer bust flyer right now for me. He reminds me a lot of Robbie Anderson, and Robbie came back with 12 points. So play Tyler Lockett at your own risk, but I'm benching him. All right, guys, hey, that is it. Congratulations for making it this far into the playoffs. Here is your video. Here is your arsenal. Text me, DM me, let us know. We are here to help you set your lineups the best we can, unless I'm playing you, in which Dawn and Kimmy and Matt do not text me, because I cannot help you guys, because I'm going to crush you today. Hopefully, knock on wood. Thank you guys very much. Thank you to our wonderful sponsor, by the Wayside Coffee. Go Steelers tonight against the Buffalo Bills. Greg McAfee will not know what's coming for him. I am so excited for that game. And just have a great Sunday, guys. Cherish football while it's here, because it will be over soon. Peace.